aisle, another one with no water down the water aisle, another one with no, craft foods down that aisle, or chips missing. Then the next week, you'll see the ones who had missing chips, they have chips now, but now they're missing some water. And they're just revolving, pushing this cargo to different outlets so that you get some sometimes, but not all the time. What other countries do that? Brazil does that. Venezuela does that. Rural India does that. All other countries that are suffering an economic and supply crisis at this moment. We have to accept that that's where America is right now. That America the Great is a more past tense.
That's right, America is over. It's finished. America the Great is actually Babylon the Great in the Bible. Revelation 17:1, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show thee unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Jumping down to verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Meeting with Canadian prepper, city prepping, urban prepper last night, and we were talking about the future of our world and how despair is really another contagion that we should be worried about. But you can't wear a mask for this one. You can't get any sort of preventative measures. You can't do any preventative measures for this. This contagion affects the minds of men and women. Once they reach this point of despair, they have a fork in the road in their life, in their future. And they can choose to either take the meager or meek path, and they can get by with less and make do with what they have. And trust me, that's what we're doing here. We're just getting ahead of the game so that what we have is more than what we would have if we listened to the main media outlets that told us that everything was fine, it's okay. So you can either take the path of getting by with what you have, the meek path, or you can take the angry path and acting out and lashing out. Look at what happened at the Kroger store yesterday. Look at what happened at, where'd you say, Chipotle yesterday. People are losing their freaking minds. They are absolutely losing it. A small event triggers them into a life-threatening crisis.
Yeah, this is Proverbs 2:11. It says, Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things. In the NLT, it says, verse 11, Wise choices will watch over you, understanding will keep you safe. And people are going crazy out here because at the end of the day, they don't have any wisdom or stability. They don't have anything. They're not rooted in anything. You know, I was out earlier and I was just taking my time driving through this parking lot, and I had a lady honk her horn at me, I guess because I was moving too slow, and then she rolled around only to not go anywhere. She was sitting right at the same red light as me, you know, and I ain't gonna say for some reason, we know Satan is in the midst of the earth. You know, I had this thought in my head to get out the car and approach her car and say something. And I was tempted to do that, but I had to check myself like, nah, that's not wise. That's not discreet. That's not using discretion. That's not using wisdom, you know. And I just stayed my ass in the car, but it just goes to show those same type of thoughts, those enter into the minds of people, but they don't have the fear of the Lord, the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to check themselves and rebuke that thought and not act upon it. These people are acting upon these thoughts and that's coming into their heads. You know, we're gonna see a lot of fucking gory shit real soon, man. It's gonna get real crazy out here in these streets in Babylon real soon. You know, and these are the things that we have been warning. We have been telling you about these things. And people are still not taking it serious. This is Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. We are coming into some evil fucking days. In Matthew 24:3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? All right, the Messiah was asked by the disciples, what are going to be the signs showing that you're about to make your second coming in the end of the world, the latter times? And the Messiah begins to name, pestilence, famines. All right, we're seeing these things, shortages, food shortages. All right, resources, scarcity in resources. All right, people hating each other, people being divided, people being offended, betrayal, false prophets. Verse 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, when you go into this in the Greek, because he said that people are losing their minds. All right, it says in the Greek word for shall wax cold, the Strong's Concordance is G5594, and the Greek word there is transliterated as psycho. All right, so because of the iniquity abounding in the world, people are going to turn psycho. They're going to turn psychotic. Now, when you go into the definition, it says to be made or grow cool or cold, metaphor of waning love. Okay, waning, that means a decline. All right, there's not much love out here, man. People are not as friendly. They're not as compassionate. They're not as community oriented, family oriented. People are becoming more and more selfish, more and more greedy, more and more godless. And it's only going to increase as the days go.
That's the world that we're at right now. They have taken that fork. Their partners, their friends and family, maybe they took the meek path and they're just getting by with less. They know that their $10,000, $20,000 of savings is all but gone because of a couple of maybe procedures or a couple of events that were outside of their control. But they say, okay, we're going to get by. We'll move in with friends and family. We'll get a little garden. We'll do something. And then you have the others who act out, who are angry at the world because they have been lied to. They have suddenly woken up to a lie that says everything's okay.
America in this world is a big lie. Jeremiah 16, verse 19, O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity and things wherein there is no profit. America is one big inherited lie.
And for them, it isn't. For them, this is an SHTF. Their life as they knew it is completely changed. They don't accept it. And so they go and they hurt others.